Good afternoon, everyone, and we want to welcome you to this regularly scheduled meeting of the Friendswood Downtown Economic Development Corporation. It is Tuesday, August the 8th, 2023, and it is just 4 o'clock. This meeting is now called to order. At this point, we have the opportunity for public communication. It is now 4 o'clock, and we do like to start them on time, don't we? Is that directed at anybody that just walked in?
I wasn't loud.
Oh, thank you. Our Vice President, Bubba Johnson, is joining us at the dais, and we're making jokes about this because sometimes it doesn't start promptly at 4, so we need to give them a little grace. My apologies, folks, not to give you a hard time. So, we have the opportunity for public communication. Is there anyone that would like to address the board? Ms. Branson.
Shouldn't stay up. Last night at our council meeting, we had an ad hoc committee that was approved, and I wanted to thank there are 2 members of the FDEDC who will be on that committee, and that is Rebecca and Ron Cox, and it's going to be a committee to look at parking, specifically in the downtown area. We have representatives from FDEDC, the CEDC, and P&Z, and then also a developer here in town. So I just wanted to thank y'all for your participation. I think Stephen's got an email that's going to come out soon to fill y'all in on a little bit more, but thank you very much. We're always looking for ways to improve. And guess who's going to be the staff liaison?
Oh, good.
And guess who's going to be the council liaison?
Oh,
if
good.
y'all don't see enough of us already. Anyway, thank y'all very much for your participation.
Thank you, and we appreciate you making that announcement, and we appreciate both of you volunteering to do it as well, because that continuity between FDEDC and downtown and CDEDC and P&Z is really important. So thank you. Any other comments?
I'll comment that we're close to completing our project across the street from Stevens Park that has 84 parking spaces.
Well, you know, that was kind of one, as I was asked to serve on this, that was kind of one of my thoughts, that we reach out a little bit to our constituents that have parking along and leave it that if it's a city event, you can park here kind of thing.
I was thinking like the Astros game where I stand up in the front and get like $10.
Well, now that's an option too.
I just put everything on the table.
Okay, well that's an option which we won't discuss now.
All right.
Because it's not on our agenda.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, I think we're all full of our Wheaties today, but that should make
It's
the meeting.
it's the heat. It's the heat.
It's the heat, I know, and I sit here in a sweater, but it's cold when you go inside. So anyway, thank you, and thanks, Councilpersons Branson. All right. Number 3 is to consider the approval of the minutes of the Friendswood Downtown Economic Development Corporation meeting, which was held on May 9th, 2023. We've had that opportunity to read those. Were there any questions, comments, or corrections?
A motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. It is approved 5-0. Thank you. Business items. 4A, discuss and take possible action regarding the adoption of the proposed fiscal year 2024 budget. Mr. Ray?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Before we get to the numbers, I did want to point out for those that may have shown up this afternoon and also who may view this on our YouTube or PEG channel at a later date, as it is the annual meeting where we do adopt the budget, that to kind of go through some of the creation and purpose and some of the notable projects that the FDEDC has accomplished over the years. And so just real quickly, if you'll permit me, just 4 quick bullet points of the creation back in 2016 of the Type B Economic Development Program, commonly known here as FDEDC, or the Friendswood Downtown Economic Development Corporation. The corporation does utilize an 8-cent sales tax and uses it to promote or expand businesses, enterprises in the downtown area only. Includes the streets, infrastructure, sidewalks, pedestrian amenities, and public improvements, along with maintenance and operations, among other things. And it does establish the group established an improvement plan overview and schedule while expanding public involvement. Some of the notable projects over the years since 2016 has been the removal of some overhead lines across FM 518, the creation of the Lauren Griffith and Associates Downtown Improvement Plan, installation of downtown street signage, obtaining a partnership with TxDOT for the curb ramp, sidewalks, and traffic signals project, and the ongoing implementation of the downtown illumination plan. So quickly, moving into fiscal year 2024, the current balance, so this is unaudited and estimated at the end of this September 2023, $3,240,261 with a projected revenue going through fiscal year 2024. Sales tax right over $762,000 with $88,478 worth of interest on top of that, with a projected fund balance of just over $4 million. The expenditures, as you know, with some of the projects that are currently ongoing, the main expenditure is going to be the capital improvements. In this instance, it's going to be the lighting project that's taking place, 1.8, almost $1.9 million in total expenditures there, with a projected ending year balance of $2.2 million at the end of fiscal year 2024.
Excellent.
I'd like to thank, I know they're not in the room, but Katina and Administrative Services who put this together every year. Without them, I would be lost for sure, and they do a fantastic job.
Can I ask you, $88,000 in interest, what is that, where's that money and how are you accruing that interest? I mean,
It's based upon the current fund balance. So as the sales tax gets accumulated, that's just the interest built upon that.
So it's not simple interest on the balance of the money. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
What's it pay?
Interest rate, are you asking?
Yeah.
I'm unsure of the actual interest rate. I can get it to you for sure.
Well, I only bring it up because, and I know the money's here to be spent on projects, but if we're going to sit on large sums of money right now, interest rates actually money has value now. You can buy CDs, pay 5.5% if you're going to sit on money extended periods of time. Just an option.
Do we have that option, Stephen?
Can you buy CDs?
I mean,
I
as a city entity?
I do not believe so. I am unsure, but I will follow up with Administrative Services and get those answers. It won't be difficult at all.
Well, I know with the school district, we are very limited
Yes, ma'am.
as to what we can do, and I would assume the same is true for the city.
Absolutely.
So I don't know those rules, but I can tell you $1 million will earn $55,000 a year. You can do the math on it if you're sitting on it. I can also tell you can buy CDs and bust out of them. The banks will tell you you can't, but you can. And there is usually a penalty for doing that. But I'm just saying if we ever do find us sitting on a ton of money, right now money has value.
Mm-hmm.
That's great to know.
I will definitely ask our Administrative Services director and see what she has. My guess is much like the school district is that we are very limited. Okay. And also as good and as thorough as they are, that there was an opportunity to earn more somewhere along the line that they would have found it. But I'll definitely follow up.
Thank you, Stephen, very much. And thank you for all the background information as to where we started in 2016. Do y'all believe that?
Yeah, could you back up to that slide? Just one back. Okay, yeah. I missed bullet 1. I'd thought about that, but I missed bullet 1. It's there. Removal of the overhead lines. That was sort of our first project.
Mm-hmm. And Richard Sasson was instrumental in helping us find all those.
And there are a couple others here that did not make mention on the slide itself, but the group has purchased and distributed numerous downtown decals and brand for part of the branding project, and also the funding of the study for the parcel next door.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. All right. This is a business item. Does this need adopting?
Yes, ma'am.
Stephen, I thought it did. Okay, so this is an action item. If we want to choose to adopt this for our proposed budget for the coming year? Any comments or questions?
Just a question. Do we technically adopt this, or do we recommend the city council adoption?
This group will adopt it, and then it will go to city council as part of their overall budget adoption next month.
Okay.
I'll move to adopt it, and I'm super excited about $88,000 worth of interest.
I hear you.
I mean, it's a big deal.
It's a lot of polls.
I'll second.
Right.
It is.
We made money with tax money, and that's pretty good.
That is good.
I'll second that.
Seconded. We have a motion and a second to accept this proposed fiscal year 2024 budget for FDEDC. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? None. So the vote is 5-0, and thank you. For reports, we have to receive and discuss the TxDOT curbs, ramps, sidewalks, and traffic signal project report, which we're seeing progress. Stephen, please.
Yes, ma'am. So real quick, I just wanted to let the group know that the majority of the sidewalks and curb ramps have been installed. They've been that way for some time. The TxDOT contractor is to mobilize, and I will say this shortly, or ASAP. This is per TxDOT, although no official timetable has been provided. I have noticed that some road construction warning signs have been placed on the side streets of FM 518, so it leads me to believe that something is going to happen soon. The new mast arms, the signals, and pedestrian crossing signals have all been installed. All the traffic signals are operational. The majority of the pedestrian crossing signals are fully operational. They are all energized. You'll see they all have flashing lights. Some of them do not yet have the plastic taken off the front. Some of them are operational, and some of them the plastic's off, but they are dark. They have been out as late as last week, out here working on those, just right here at Castlewood and FM 518, and hopefully those will be fully operational soon. All the signals and the majority of the mast arms have been removed, so the span wires holding the signals, the old signals up themselves, and along with the mast arms on some of them across the old silver looking ones. The contractor is to mobilize in the next week or two to come back out and take down the full supports. Those are supposed to come out the next coming weeks, along with any of the span wires or any kind of other supports that are there that are not going to be used anymore.
I did notice that they seem to be taking down the span wires, if you will, first.
Yes, sir.
And so I was glad to see that. They were working was it yesterday, I guess?
Yes, sir.
On 2351. So, why are they waiting to take down the old masts? Why don't they do that at the same time? Is there some reason why they're staging that?
So from what we've gathered, it just has to do with equipment availability of the crews. So if you'll recall, the signal contractor and the sidewalk contractor, they're two different contractors. So the signal contractor, they do everything from the interlinking to the, they kind of have a to-do list of everything, and it just kind of depends on which crew is out here. If you'll recall, they hit it pretty hot and heavy right at Whispering Pines real fast when they removed the existing ones, energized the new ones, and that intersection now is completely finished outside of one foundation, I think, that still needs to be jackhammered out, and it looks great. Castlewood, they came and they did something very similar, very quick, and they've actually jackhammered one of the foundations out, replaced it with sod, and it looks good. And then they kind of went away from the 4th of July period and were gone, and now they're starting to come back. So hopefully, weather permitting, usually you worry about the rain, but actually we're worried about the heat at this point. But weather permitting, they'll be out and be doing intersection by intersection and knocking them out pretty quick.
Excellent.
One more question.
Yes, sir.
What about their fiber optic system that they were laying in the ground? Is all that put together now?
The fiber optic for the signals?
For the signals.
Yes, sir. All of the interlinking of those signals has been completed, and they've actually been out, I think, twice now to to assess the timing of those lights based upon phone calls and other input. And so they'll tweak that as they need to. And then always, if something does get out of sync or during heavy traffic periods, our engineering department has their number to call, and so they can come out and fix the timing if needed.
Any other questions or comments? Well done. I am
Very,
too.
very nice. Yeah, very nice.
It does. It looks really good. And now we go to the illumination report, 5B.
So, exciting. The electrical services have been installed, and the cabinets are complete by Pfeiffer and Sons. If you've gone down FM 518, you may have seen some large silver boxes about the size of the podium there, just kind of dotted along. Those are the completed electrical boxes, inspected and ready to be energized. Our engineering department, they have done magnificent work with some folks there over the past couple of months. They've marked all the final pole locations. If you walk down the sidewalks, you'll see a completely solid dot surrounded by a clear circle, and that is going to be the final pole foundation location and pole. And so they may find something under the sidewalk that needs to be fixed here and there, but that's going to be, in all essence, that's going to be where that pole goes. Pfeiffer and Sons is going to begin the foundation work on 40 of the pole locations here very quickly, probably within the next week or two. Those 40 are the ones that have the least environmental conditions that are going to bother it. So they're basically able just to go in, bore the foundation hole and build a foundation. The poles are in fabrication, and we anticipate delivery early September. And so we most likely will not have all of the foundations completed just yet, so we may have to store some of those, and we have a couple ideas on that at a city facility. Many of the poles do have some type of environmental condition that's going to cause some extra work here and there. Most notably is there are some existing fiber optic cables running underneath the sidewalk. AT&T will be relocating those, but it will take a little bit of time. We have a plan in place. We are already working with them to have them relocate that. And so as soon as that happens, the additional poles that were in those locations will be, the foundations will be constructed as well. So we are moving right along, and I can't say enough about our engineering department and Pfeiffer and Sons for being very, they're easy to get in touch with, they're easy to work with, and it's been kind of great working with them.
That's excellent. Any other comments or questions?
Yes.
Dr. McGinnis?
At a previous meeting, somebody mentioned about decorative painting of those cabinets. And every time I drive into League City, I see that they've done something like that. It looks pretty good. Did we have any other decision or action or ability to do that?
So what we've come to find out is they're not painted, they are vinyl wrapped. And so you can have an artist, or you can have a, like maybe the equivalent of our KFB, our Keep Friendswood Beautiful, or another group come in and create vinyl wraps, and TxDOT will apply those. Our own Katie Blanchard has been tasked with looking into that as part of the communications team, and then also visiting with our KFB to see about getting a meeting set up with the right folks at TxDOT, and to see if we can do that downtown for sure, and then potentially across the city as well.
Excellent.
So we could do both the TxDOT boxes and the city boxes for the illumination project. Are those different? Those are different.
They are different boxes. Off the top of my head, I do not see a reason why we could not, outside of something that would interfere with access or interfere with maintenance of some sort. But it's something we could definitely look into for those boxes as well.
Yeah.
For some of them, maybe our FDEDC downtown logo would be appropriate. Maybe not everyone, but
I was thinking that we put a headshot each of us on
And we would
Make it
and we
personal.
would compare. No, I won't say that
no.
because this is a record. I won't say that.
I'd
Thank
be
you.
afraid that would attract target shooting.
That's where I was going, Ron. I thought, and we'll compare how many of them are beaten up more than the others, or whatever. I was actually thinking, I know that we have heritage trees in the town, the big old trees. We take some pictures of our big old trees along with whatever else Miss Blanchard back there finds to do. But we have lots of options, really. You know?
I did want to point out before I forgot. So the way that these cabinets are constructed, you cannot just go easily read a meter. You don't want tampering. You don't want people being able to get in there. And so after visiting with TNMP, after visiting with our power provider, we don't have a final number yet, but based upon the number of poles and based upon their wattage, their LEDs, the yearly cost is most likely going to be around $300 to illuminate everything. So hopefully that stands true, but if it doesn't, it's not going to be much more. So that's great to know moving forward into the future for budget purposes. It's kind of a nothing, which is great. Yes, sir.
So will they decommission the existing streetlights?
Yes, sir. The goal is once the lights are up, that anything that TNMP one has on their existing poles will come down. And then also we will once again begin meetings with the property owners, that if any of those property owners want to begin taking theirs down, we can come up with a plan to do that as well.
Yeah,
Nice.
so the cost of the city, the streetlights, the TNMP streetlights, that would go away once those streetlights are taken down. I mean, you get charged on a per streetlight basis.
Yes, sir. And also any property owner that chose to remove their lights as well would have that cost go away as well. Yes, sir. We have made contact with 2 or 3 of the largest property owners, or at least land size, as you will, that have the majority of lights downtown. All 3 were receptive of, once the project got to a certain point, that we could visit again about removing them. And so we're looking forward to those conversations too coming up.
So my point was that if the TNMP streetlight costs go away, that may offset the costs here and may be close to a wash on an annual basis, no additional expense.
Do those costs, that $300, does that come out of our budget or out of the city's?
That comes out of the city's budget.
Okay.
That was
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, definitely. Oh, they will. I think so too.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what it is per streetlight anymore, but I bet it is.
So the calculation that we got, and an example that we were given, is that the cost, the electricity used to power the lights that are going in now is the equivalent of between 3 and 4 of the large halide lights that TNMP uses.
Good. That's excellent. Any other questions or comments on the illumination plan?
I'm sorry, I'm just full of questions, I guess. One more.
Oh, you're entitled. Right after July 4th, I had a call about, what about sidewalks in front of the Friends Church and illumination? Has there been any more discussion about that or any other ideas on y'all's part?
No, sir. Given the time frame with the TxDOT project and not knowing exactly when it was going to be complete, from the beginning of that project, we had all anticipated getting through it and then revisiting the Friends Church. Anything that happens there is going to be separate from the TxDOT project and separate from the existing illumination. So it would most likely be one large project itself, whatever was proposed. And we can kick off those conversations maybe once we get a little closer to the end as well.
Okay.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for the questions. Any other comments or questions? Let's move then to 5C, which is to receive and discuss the Friendswood Downtown Economic Development Corporation financial report for this month.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr.
So this is for June of 2023. So the beginning fund balance of the month was $2,970,919 with an added revenue of $71,807. 0 expenditures. And outside of the $1,333 that you guys paid to city staff, with an overall ending fund balance for June 2023 of $3,041,393.
It's great. We hit the 3. We hit the 3 is a good number for us. That's what we got from TxDOT. This is what it's a good number. Any other comments or questions about this report?
Just can't wait to spend it.
That's
On
true.
approved projects, yeah.
That's true. That's exciting. So, any other comments? Well, I think the city in the next 5 months will see a very large impact with the lights, and that will be significant and bring a lot of joy to a lot of people. Any other comments, questions? I do like the efficiency of this group. Thank you all very much. The next item is the adjournment. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The vote is 5-0, and we are adjourned.